so happy you're here. Um, Everybody wants we're going to get into social media today. And can everybody let me know kind of where you are when it comes to small business, growing your business? Are you familiar with social media and your different platforms? Kind of let me know where you're at. I I use Instagram the most. That's where I've focused a lot of my sales because between Instagram and TikTok, Instagram seems to be the easiest. I started with Shopify, and my Shopify store linked really well with my Instagram shop. It was harder to get on TikTok, but I do have Samia is on TikTok quite a bit. I know Amanda is on TikTok, and she does well with Shopify. So we will talk more about that on Thursday. Today, I'm going to be focusing on Instagram. But I do know if you are more familiar or want more help with Facebook, TikTok, even LinkedIn, we can talk about that more on Thursday. But does everybody have an Instagram account? I guess we'll start there. Are you active on Instagram? And what are your goals with Instagram? Is it digital products or Shopify? So I can make sure that my coaching is more focused on that. You guys can just tell me too.
Okay.
Pretty familiar, still learning, digital products. Okay, yeah. Thanks, Amy.
I'm still figuring it all out. I'm so early in my coaching journey and I would like to do digital products. So really, I'm here for it all.
Okay. Oh, Pamela, I love that YouTube are your main socials, Instagram. If anybody, what's your handle again, Pamela? I know it. I follow it. I like all of your content. Christine, you're shy. You have a hard time posting. Yes, natural, simple living. Your content is hyper specific and it's so enjoyable to watch. It's almost like cinematic. Shanda, what's your handle so everybody knows? I'm so happy you're here. I want people to go and follow you as well. Put your handles in there so we can follow and promote.
So I'm completely brand new here. I'm just in the very beginning, wanting to get into the wellness space because that's kind of my background and my own personal story.
Okay.
And so thank you for inviting me and having me here last minute. I was speaking with Tony and I was so inspired and so excited for this opportunity to learn, but I am at the very beginning. So I will just be absorbing as much beneficial content as I can get from you guys. And thank you for having me.
Awesome. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I think you should definitely check out All In Nutritionals.
Okay.
That may be actually a really good place for you to start too, because they're a part of Abundant Health, and that's a health and wellness space. Their content on Instagram and they're very lively on Facebook is very digestible, and their messaging is very clean and clear. So I love working with them, and they're very food based in their products and their health and wellness. So we're all beginners. I actually, when I started Abundant Academy, it started because I have a Shopify store. I started that as a social impact business because my son had a medical emergency and he was airlifted at 6 weeks old from one hospital to another 2 hours away. And I was fortunate enough to be able to be with him. My husband was able to stay home with him. So stay home with my 1-year-old daughter at the time. So I was in this hospital room, not worried about medical bills. I was fortunate enough to not have to worry about that. And I was actually roomed. He's fine. He's happy. He's healthy now. But I shared a room with 2 young kids that were newly having their baby, and they were talking about their minimum wage job and having to go back and forth between work and balancing work and the hospital and all of that. And it was so overwhelming and so sad to see that on one of the hardest days and times in their life, they're having to worry about their hospital bills and whatever. So I decided to start Kaya and Cash, the social impact online business. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I had no idea. But I knew that I could Google during night feedings, and I just learned on my own, right? And within my first year, I made $60,000 on Shopify through drop shipping my products. And what I learned was I started on Etsy, I moved to Shopify, and I learned that Instagram was like the place to get a lot of moms to tell my story, messaging. After I built out my website, and the reason why I kind of leaned onto Shopify was the integrations into a lot of things, and I can get into that a lot later. If you guys are interested in Shopify, let me know. But I learned that to drive traffic to my website to sell anything, I needed to be able to talk to my customer base, especially if I wasn't going to have a brick and mortar store. So if I don't have a place to communicate and talk to people, and share what my story is, how am I going to convey that? How am I going to get emails? How am I going to cultivate any kind of customer base at all without being able to communicate with them directly? So I started leaning hard into my social media following and cultivating that. And I realized that it was extremely difficult when you don't know what you're doing, because one of my hardest things to learn was to be able to articulate what my message was and to tell my story. So I really didn't, at the beginning, I really had been leaning into like, okay, I don't really know what my marketing or my messaging is going to be. I dabbled in using templates off of Etsy. I dabbled in copying and pasting kind of what other people were doing. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but I just tried a bunch. So I went on Fiverr and I outsourced, and even that really, it was cold, and it was I didn't really cultivate any kind of following that would convert to sell my products. And until I started actually sharing what the purpose of my business was, in hindsight, it sounds silly, like for me to not tell my story at the beginning. If you look at, like, if you scroll back on Kaya and Cash's Instagrams now, like at the very beginning, it was me having random baby pictures with like drop ship photos of like photoshopped pictures. It was terrible. And then when I started to actually tell my story of giving back 10 to 30% of profits to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, or sponsoring this baby, highlighting that was a way for me to start actually cultivating a following. I have 15,000 followers now on that social media platform. I don't even really lean hard into it as much as I should because I'm focused on my other businesses. But I was able to really translate that and convert that into sales. And what I learned even more from that was I worked with influencer marketing. I worked with influencers that I met. However, they were extremely expensive to work with some of these really big influencers. So I started working with them and creating co-branded clothing lines. And Amanda's one, I think she's on here. She's one of our experts. She's going to be talking on Thursday. And I just literally started DMing people like, hey, I want brand exposure. How do I work with you? Can I create kind of a co-branded clothing line with you where I'll put your name on my clothes and you promote it? Because I don't want to pay you for a collab. I don't want to pay you for a reel, but I want exposure to your audience. And I got bites. I got some influencers that were like, yeah, heck yeah, we'll do that. And it aligned. What I learned was I kind of started to throw spaghetti at the wall, where I was like, I'll work with anybody. And then I was like, no, I can't do that. I need to work with actually people that are going to buy my product. I need to actually work with influencers that are actually going to resonate with my consumer base. When I started, I didn't know who my target demographic was. So once I realized exactly who I'm trying to target, which was moms that wanted to shop with purpose, have quality clothes for their kids, then I could work with influencers that were moms that had a purpose in their following, that, you know, resonated with my faith-based following, and that we started to kind of cook with gas, and we learned that having that consistent messaging resonated with people, and they wanted to actually understand what was happening behind the scenes. They wanted to understand more about me. They wanted to feel like they were talking to me. And working with influencers, I was able to expand my following quite a bit, but I also learned something different when it comes to social media and social media presence. It's more about hyper specificity, even more than what I had originally thought. Working with influencers, like working with like mommy influencers, I thought like, oh my goodness, I'm going to sell a bunch. And that wasn't true. I got a bunch of attention, I got a bunch of followers, but I didn't get followers that actually cared about my product to the degree that I thought that they would, right? I thought I would have almost like a cult like following, and that didn't work that way. It started to work when we niched down even more and focused on, okay, here's one product, here's one fundraiser that we're doing that's going to this one place, and here's a month of stories about what we're doing and how we're impacting this person and how that's creating change and how that's changing somebody's life. And you can repurpose almost content for that. And what I would have done in hindsight and what I will be doing, and I can take you along for that ride, is like we're doing that with Amanda. So right now, and Amanda, are you here? Amanda has, yeah, she's here. Hi. So Amanda and I are actually currently working, this is perfect. We're currently working on a product line for her that's going to be very hyper specific to her following. It's going to be hyper specific to her content, and it's going to be hyper specific to my product on Kaya and Cash and her product line. So she has a line that's focused on disaster relief. She's going to be going on a mission trip for disaster relief in North Carolina. She's going to be creating long form content about it. She'll probably be wearing some of the shirts in that long form content. And then that long form content is also going to become short form content on her social media and her reels and her presence. So we're going to tell the story from both angles, but we're planning it now. Does that make sense? Because I'm starting to just talk to talk. Amanda, so can you unmute yourself? I want to, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So when it comes to us, before we did this before, and we didn't have the same results that I think we're going to have now when it comes to telling our story, because now you're even more strategic in the way that you're going to be telling your story on Kaya and Cash. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about that really quick? And then we can get into some of the actual.
For sure. I did also want to mention, you were talking about how we first got connected and that kind of stuff. And I wanted to say that this just really speaks to like how we're talking about the system. Chelsea was talking about telling her story and how important it is to share your story. And the thing is that when companies come to me or stores come to me and they want to promote a product or their brand or any of that, there's a lot of different things as a mega influencer that I look at to decide if I would promote it, how I would promote it, and what I would charge to promote it, right? And so she was talking about like what we charge as mega influencers. And literally, I mean, the thing is,
so for those that don't know, Amanda Sellers is the Sellers Dozen. You have a million followers now? 2 million?
We, across all platforms, we're 2.5 million.
2.5 million. Sorry, I'm underselling you. And she reaches 200 million a month. And you've had like Instagram reels that have gone viral to the point where it's like in the hundreds of millions, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I have somebody reach out to me and I start to look into them, I have tons and tons of people who ask to collaborate and they want to give us product. And I would absolutely love to support every single, sorry, I'm upsetting my toddler.
Okay.
What? Like that? Okay. I would love to support everyone, but not everybody has a good plan or mission or product or any of that. So when Chelsea told her story, we are we're finishing out, I was looking at my husband because he's my brand manager. We're finishing out a contract with a company that's a $30,000 deal with another $60,000 contract lined up behind that. And those are the kind of, so when people ask me, and I'm like, guys, I charge like $5,000 for one post or one video, you know what I mean? Like, so, and I don't do that because I want to be harmful or greedy. It's because I've built a very large audience that I want them to trust me when I share something or I promote something. So I'm careful about how and where and when. And if it's not something I would truly share with somebody, you know, does that make sense? I'm protective over it. So when Chelsea shared her story, I was like, wait, no, that's exactly what I do. That's my favorite thing about having an audience. And it was in perfect alignment. That's why I was like, yeah, you know what? You are actually helping me. This works. This is perfect. So
when Amanda and I met, it was through Abundant Management. So just so you guys know kind of how Abundant Academy came about, we'll sidestep really quick. Was Kaya and Cash was my social impact business, and I started to work with influencers, and I realized that there were large mega influencers and smaller influencers and moms that wanted to become influencers as well, that didn't have a way to, the influencers didn't have a way to actually generate revenue or income, and small businesses didn't have a way to actually work with influencers in such a way that would be costly or effective. So we started to teach moms how to either create a small business and work with mega influencers, whatever, and how to work together. So we started to teach that. Sorry, I got distracted. So Abundant Management originally started as a way for influencers to actually streamline their revenue and income stream. And I built businesses for these moms. So they came on and we built social impact businesses. So it was a drop shipping business on Kaya and Cash, where we gave every one of our influencers on Abundant Management has a storefront. And then that turned into, well, these influencers also have a niche demographic and a special knowledge base, whether it be in Amanda's case, lactation consulting. She's a certified lactation consultant, which you wouldn't know. She has a full course on Abundant Academy under Abundant Motherhood and Pregnancy, which we took that course and created a cookbook, so a digital product for her. We created an actual pregnancy course for her, and we drive her traffic there through her social impact businesses and social impact outlets, right? So all of this is helping. The intention is to build social impact, but it's also, what do you know innately? What are you good at innately, right? And how can you turn that and monetize that in a way that's somewhat, our focus is always affordable. On Abundant Academy, we always want to make our offerings extremely affordable. We want to be knowledgeable. We want to bring value, but we also think that every mom has that ability to take what they know and convert it into a social media following and into a business, whether that is through Shopify, digital products, courseware, whatever. So when Abundant Management started, that's how I met Amanda. This turned into, hey, Amanda, can you teach me how to go viral? Hey, Amanda, can you teach me how to do certain things on social media? And I learned, how do you work with influencers? How do you work as an influencer, right? So as somewhat of a business manager for Amanda, I learned a lot of these different aspects of, oh, she can't post X, Y, and Z. That should translate into my business. I can't post X, Y, and Z on certain days. I need to pay attention to my insights. I never even knew what an insight was when I was looking at Instagram before. But paying attention to when you have high traffic. So if I have like a high traffic day, is typically for me is Tuesday through Saturday on Abundant Management. And I'm posting 3 times a day, knowing, as Alexia teaches, knowing the times to be posting. I wouldn't have known any of this if I didn't work with influencers before, but knowing the times of days to post, that also tells me, well, I should probably be sending a marketing email at that time. Because if I know that they're looking at their social media, then I also know that they're looking at their emails. And if they've seen my posts on social media and they're going to do what I do, which is look back at their emails, and they see me pop up in their emails as well, oh, then I can expand, I can multi-purpose or reuse what I'm using on social media and actually expand my reel into a better or a more lengthy email that gives them information and links. Sorry, that's the side note. Those are the things that we learned working together, and that's how we've kind of gotten to where we are today. So, Amanda, we're going to go into the actual, yes, Tony.
I just want to say that I have been trying for the last year to post, and going by like just the few prompts that you shared with it, like the last call, I have figured out that I need to be way more hyper specific, and now it just feels like it's going to be easy. I even asked my ChatGPT, like, should I combine my two accounts? And it was giving me like the pros and cons of, having a separate business account or not. And I've decided to stick with having two of them. And she's helping me to, like, she's just helping me with all of it, and it just feels so easy now, and I just have you to thank for that. And
I'm so glad.
Yeah, it's like I've been trying for a year, and I've just been like, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. I was much more like vague, and my content buckets were not hyper specific. But now I feel like I have a game plan, and your prompts are amazing, and like the stuff that it's giving me, I'm just like, oh, okay, so this is how everybody else is doing it. So it just feels so much better and easier. So I just wanted to say thank you, and everybody on this call who doesn't know Chelsea or Amanda, like, they have just been fantastic.
Oh, thanks, Tony. I'm so glad. You're fantastic.
I love that so much. So
Thanks.
this is something I say all the time. I absolutely know that you can do this, achieve any of the goals that you have. I know that you can. I know that you can because if I, as a mom of 10 kids pregnant with twins, could build what I built, there's something special about me. So if I could do it
There is.
in the cracks of our day, right? In our nap times. And if I know if I could do it, that you can, anybody could. I know that that's totally true. And I know that you're totally capable. I just would have loved to have had help and tools and insight when I was doing it. And I could have done it much faster if I had had tools and resources, which is why when Chelsea came to me about Kai and Cash and a clothing line, and we looked at different abundant management collaboration opportunities, I knew that the social media work that I was doing was still, what's the word for when it's like ebbs and flows and it's not consistent? It was still like, it's still an inconsistent.
Ebb and flow and
Yeah.
inconsistent.
Yeah. So we had positioned ourselves in a way that I was able to retire my husband from the work that he was doing, and he could stay home and help me with social media full time. We were able to do that in the ebbs and flows, but it was still inconsistent enough that I knew there were other opportunities that I could pursue and I wanted to. I just hadn't had the help yet to do it. And then as Chelsea and I are collaborating and things are just like, they're making so much sense when she's bringing her knowledge with what I have and it's coming together. We were just like, this, other moms have to be able to do this. Like, we know that other moms can, and we want to take what we have learned and what we know, and share it so that your business and your dreams and your goals happen faster. So that's really how we got started on all of this and why we are doing what we're doing. So one of the things I wanted to ask is, is everyone who has an Instagram page who is looking at promoting, do you have a business page? Okay, it's no big deal. As far as I can tell, it's not super crucial one way or another. It does kind of affect like how you go about it.
Yes. So on your business page, you will need a business page and a a additional page for your meta ads in your business suite. And we will make sure to get into all of that. I can get into it later if we have time. I do want to back up and talk, I realized. So let's talk about niche, target demographic, making sure that we're drilling down into hyper specific. I will put in ChatGPT prompts. I'm seeing that some of you get shy and you want to go faceless, or you don't really know what to post and you don't want to get your face on there. So we have your big following is no, she does not have a business. You only have one account. Should I separate them? Okay, so niche, target demographic, goals. Goals are to sell and convert. You want your Instagram account to be a digital creator, whether you're a business or you're not. You always want that to be a digital creator because it will go further. Even if you're a business, it does not need to be a business account because you'll still get the same professional dashboards and insights. You're going to want to post 3 times a day if your goal is to garner following. Your 3 times a day needs to be hyper specific. So it can be hyper specific. It can, in that 3 times a day, by the way, does not need to be 3 reels. It can be a reel, a carousel. Instagram's pushing carousels right now. It can be a static post. It can be a quote. Canva is a great resource to go on Canva templates and to start looking at that. I love just putting my phone down, especially as a mom, and getting B-roll. And then I put a kind of quote over that, right? If you go and look at AI mama, you'll see how I'm doing that, where it always goes to ChatGPT, a prompt, and it's always hyper specific with what I'm trying to the audience that I'm trying to garner, which is how do moms that want to automate their mom life in our own business. Abundant management, we do a mix. I focus more on reels just because we have a lot of reel content when it comes to coaching snippets. We repurpose what we have on our YouTube channel. I put it into Opus Pro. Opus Clip is a great resource. And I take my long form content and create reels from there. And I always put a text overlay on it. You always want to make sure that you have captions in your reels. Your text overlay is typically a visual hook that you want to have. So some sort of something you want to attract, nurture, and educate or entertain your audience in one of those 3 things. Now, what am I going to tell you? I think you guys already know. Say all of that into ChatGPT. There you go. You've taken my class. No, I'm just kidding. But you're going to want to open up your ChatGPT app and open up the microphone and ask ChatGPT for a hyper specific post that will resonate with your target audience. You should have already updated your ChatGPT memory so she knows who your target audience is. If she doesn't, work with her and brainstorm with ChatGPT to start to identify who your target audience is to sell your digital product or your Shopify store, whatever it is that you're trying to convert. And you can educate, entertain, and inform. You want to ask her for her hyper specific materials, and you can get down to act as a social media expert, act as a viral expert, act as a marketing expert, act as whatever you want ChatGPT to be acting as. If you think in your mind's eye of, if I had the dream team, who would I be able to work with to build my team out? And you ask ChatGPT to be that person. And then you brainstorm and you make sure that it's always in your brand voice. You always want to make sure that you have SEO optimization in any of your captions, any of that. And you always want to use keywords that target your target demographic. As we learned before, you can use Rank IQ to help you identify your SEO keywords. You always want to, I just like to ask ChatGPT about that. And so you want to post 3 times a day. I suggest, Alexia suggests Amanda, I don't think posts 3 times a day. Do you?
Not on each platform. No.
Okay. So that's what I suggest, and to always stay hyper specific. Now, you can remix content like we've talked about before, but that's the content piece. Let me go to questions. You had I keep jumping me back up. Okay, so account for your business account. Right now, you only have one account. Should you separate them? Maria Went says no. I separate my accounts based on target demographic. So I have 3 Instagram accounts, but that's based on me wanting to cultivate an audience that converts, and I have 3 businesses. So if I'm focused you'll see my content tends to be kind of the same because I don't always have the same audience, but it's also not. So I chose to have my kids online. I may make a change, but if I have a fun B-roll clip that I like, that I know will resonate, I'll use that on all 3 of my accounts. Now, I get lazy sometimes, and I'll invite to collaborate on my different accounts if I think that it'll resonate with all of the bases. Alexia completely says that's the wrong way. Now, you always want to focus on who your end user is, and the name of the game is always quality over quantity. I don't always hit that benchmark. I'm learning. It takes reps, guys. It takes repetition. You have to just keep doing it to get better at it. That's the only way you're going to learn how to do it, is you just have to do it. Now, one trick, Amy, I will get to stories. Absolutely. I live in them. You should live in them. Amanda just talked about scheduling hers out. We talked about before this call. Alexia is like the prime example. Amanda too. You're an amazing content creator. You're just not as consistent in stories. Sorry to call you out. You're not, which is why you're scheduling them, because she's focused on creating like absolutely incredible viral reels, and she's on all of the platforms and viral on all of the platforms, which I don't know how she does that, but she does. But anyways, Alexia, when you think about stories and conversion in sales, go live in the Bradley bunch, which is Carla Bradley. She converts, her stories sell. And Alexia. But I will talk about stories in just a second. I just want to go and answer the rest of these questions really quick. Do we have anyone who builds primarily on Facebook? Yeah, Karissa Collins has a huge following on Facebook. Amanda Sellers you have a bigger following on Facebook than you do on Instagram. So you can talk about Facebook in just a second, right? I'm sorry, I keep getting so separating the account and posting for one business page. Now, but you have to remember, when we talk about separating out our accounts based on on your end consumer, they want to see your behind the scenes. So they want to know what you're making for dinner. They want to see you, talk to you as a real human being, because people, they don't buy product. They buy the person. So they buy who's selling it. So I know the reason why it resonates quite a bit when I work with the magic sauce for me to sell something is to collaborate with an influencer, to tell a story, a hyper specific story in that collaboration, and to talk about it like nonstop, but to give an emotion of what this is doing for me. That's how like Kaya and Cash, that's how we've had our $9,000 days, our $15,000 days, has been hyper specific story, talking about it consistently, and an element of virality to it. Yes, 3 times a day feels like a lot, but it's not if you use ChatGPT. Really quick, if you want to go faceless and you don't want to have to always think about it, and you want to batch create content, quotes are great. Asking ChatGPT for hyper specific quotes in your niche demographic for your target audience that will resonate, and putting a trending audio behind it is a fabulous way to hit your 3 times a day. I'm not saying posting 3 times a day on just that, but putting a nice quote or something to inform somebody over a B-roll of somebody dancing, you're seeing that go crazy. But even just a pretty Canva template, they have 1,000 of them. If you spend a Saturday afternoon, 2 hours, I'll teach you how to batch create in Canva, but you can ask ChatGPT, make me 30 quotes, and then you have a quote a day. You schedule that out, and you can put it on a Canva template that you like, and you make it pretty consistent.
I want the popsicle.
Yes, ma'am. You can have a popsicle. Amanda, can you talk? I see, Karissa, you have your hand raised. So I am batching the content in Canva. Yes, I am batching my my quotes in Canva, and then I will schedule them out in Meta. And they will post. I'm also loving trial reels, and like I'll stay up at night, and honestly, I will like have my I'll put a ChatGPT prompt after I get a popsicle. I'll put a ChatGPT prompt in there, but I'll have my hyper specific content for like, I asked ChatGPT for a text hook overlay that's SEO optimized and a matching Instagram caption for what I'm selling. And I'll put it over my video, and I'll put out 5 or 10 of those on trial reels and see how they perform, and choose the ones that perform the highest. And I just say share to everyone on my 3 different scheduled times. So that's worked for me really, really well. And I've gotten like 100 to 200 new followers a day since I've started doing that on Instagram. Yes, Karissa, please unmute. Yes, I would love for you to unmute.
Hi, thank you so much. This is an amazing group. My question is, I'm not new to social media. I don't have a big social media following at all. I built a full-time income with a MLM company. I guess it's been 3-4 years since I left the company now, but I built with them for 5 or 6 years. And I had a small following, but I made a full-time income with them. I converted really well through my stories. But because I've shifted from being this like MLM product specific conversation all the time and converting that way, I've been really lost. It took me a while. I left socials for a while because I hit complete burnout. And I'm trying to come back from a place of like truly peace and a place that's really serving and encouraging and inspiring other moms, instead of I need you to convert to buy my product and join my team. And that is really, I'm having a hard time channeling it, because like I know in my mind, like I'm a homeschool mom of 4. We live on 3,000 acres, our family farm. We raise cattle, we have ducks and chickens, and like I have really fun. We are a really close, tight family. I know I have really cool content.
You really do.
Just
absolutely
out. I don't have to structure it in a way. Like my desire is truly to be like an author and a speaker and pour into moms, really advocating for motherhood as a whole. Our son was born with tetralogy of Fallot. He had open heart surgery at 3 months old. I want to start a nonprofit, and like there's so many things, I just can't get it all dumped and structured and channeled.
Okay, so you found the place, because that's what we do.
Okay.
And like Amanda, it's that, yes, Amy, that is amazing. And I'm like, still, I have chills. I don't know if you can see it. I love that. So yes, this is exactly what you want. And I want Amanda to talk about burnout, because she does a really great job on, like, I am not good at that. So I get hyper specific, hyper focused, and I almost crave the feeling of burnout for a minute and just embrace it and keep pushing through. So I am not the mentor to teach you how to not burn out. I'm the mentor to be like, keep going, you got it. But Amanda can teach you how to be peaceful and like bring it back. I'm learning. I think honestly, that is your digital product. So the way that I look at digital products, courses, and being an author and speaker is that all is what Abundant Academy is about, right? So I've written multiple books. Amanda's written a book. We turn that into digital products. I then turn that into Canva downloads, freebies, products, reusing. And then I take that and I create content in my hyper specific kind of what I'm trying to teach. So you have 1,000 things there to teach. You can lean into your you can give a portion back to a nonprofit that is existing or that you want to start. You can then turn this into almost like an empire that's like a B Corp, where you can still take profits, but it's a social impact business that you obligate yourself. You say that you will be giving back 10 to 20%. You can go then and speak at different nonprofits. You can do virtual. You can speak at our quarterly event. I mean, there's things that we can do with you, that you have that all there to alleviate that burnout. I think the biggest thing is making sure that you're maximizing the content that you have and create, and to create the content from your everyday, like you were talking about. Now, what is it that you want to write about? What is it that brings you joy and brings you peace and brings you contentment, and that you're naturally good at? Right? Because if you have to work at being good at it, then it becomes work, which everybody has to work at being good at something. That's not what I'm saying. But when you find that thing that clicks,
when you're trying to be somebody else all the time.
Yes.
Like comparison, which I did find myself in. That's where I got really frustrated with Instagram. And I was like, I hate this platform because I could get on Facebook. It was just more genuine because I was posting really from a place of, this is our life, this is what the Lord's teaching me, these are things we're going through, and the content was very genuine. Versus when I came to Instagram, it was like, okay, what are they posting that's going viral? Okay, I can post that. I can use like my video with her concept, and it just always felt gross.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, because like if you look, I am totally in line with that, because if you look at my content, like I cannot and I'm not a mega influencer by any stretch, but I can't be my thing is authenticity. This is what's working for me. This is what happens. This is me without makeup. This is me with my kids. This is just it. This is just my life, and we're going to do it together. And I think that resonates, and that cultivates a sense of authenticity and community that you want, right? And that will garner, there's so many people out there. That's the thing, right? That like Amanda's following can't take away from my following. We can share, we can collaborate. That's what's so cool about having all of the influencers that we have, right? Like they all have their very hyper specific niche. Kind of, they all follow Jesus. They all have some sort of togetherness. They're kids, and kids, their moms. But other than that, they have very hyper specific, very different. So their million isn't going to take away from her million if they collaborate on a post together, they do something. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? So the copying, it's also not going to resonate. Like me, I love Jesus, but I curse a little. Like I do. I can't help it. You know, sometimes I'm like, I'm sorry. Whoops. That doesn't resonate with some people, and that's okay. And I don't need to resonate with everybody. I need to resonate with my people that want to get coaching from me. And that's why we have a community of a bunch of other more kind of, different moms that aren't me. Amanda, can you speak to that a little bit too, on burnout and how to keep authenticity and to create kind of content from your daily life so you don't have that burnout?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also hearing you say like transitioning from multi-level marketing over to your general page and what you want your page to be about has been a transition issue. Is that right? So
would you repeat your question? Sorry, I was typing.
No, you're fine. I wanted to circle back and include your transition from multi-level marketing over to the kind of content you're wanting to create now. So the question was just kind of, I'm hearing you say that part of that burnout had to do with constantly pitching to your audience for sales, specifically if you're multi-level marketing. Is that right?
The burnout really, like I built a full-time income with my company, and I didn't outsource anything. So I was teaching, I was team leading, I was leading all of our educational groups. I was building all of our graphics. I was teaching in-person classes and trying to build on socials and be in my stories every day. And like my kids just did not have a present mom through all of that because there wasn't enough to stretch of me. And I never had time where I wasn't available. And I actually love, it was a wellness company, and I actually love the knowledge and the education that I gained. And I still like to help people with that. So that may be a digital product that I maybe put out one day. But the burnout really came from doing everything, not outsourcing anything, not having any kind of boundaries. And then when I was trying to actually build a following with content, it just felt like I was trying so hard and hitting a wall. And then Instagram just got to be this place of failure for me. And it always made me just feel vulnerable and inadequate. And like, I'm putting all this time in, I'm capturing all this content, and I know that I have something to say, but I'm not resonating somewhere. And I think it was kind of just this whole big basket of burnout, really. It wasn't just in socials, it was a big basket of burnout.
No, I absolutely get that. So I think one of the issues, this is, I'm can almost never complain about ChatGPT or outsourcing AI wise. But this is one of the only things I will complain about it, is that it is so big and does so much resource that it's like, I want to do all the things at the same time. And so you start trying to dive into all of the avenues and all of the inner stories, and building this and building, you know, all at the same time. So I think one of the things that we're really learning to do well here as Abundant Management goes and Abundant Academy is that we will be so quick to be like, here's what we got going on, but I'm checking out because it's family time. And we will just, it's text will come through, but we all know that
Ignore.
Yeah, ignore, exactly. Because those things, that is so important. It is so important. That's why we're trying to talk to moms, is because prioritizing your time with your family is, that's why we want to build businesses from home. So we have the chance to do that.
And I think the biggest point of what we're trying to build here and what we're trying to do in the weekly coaching, in Abundant Money, and I'm not trying to, and through the quarterly workshops and all that, and this isn't to sell, this is to tell you genuinely what the heck we're trying to get, is when we go to build out a course, when we go to build out like our business in a box that we're building right now, we're like, okay, what did we need? Because us as the mentors have this conversation regularly when we do our shareholders meetings. It's a regular conversation that is like, I don't feel connected enough with my kid here. I don't feel connected enough with my husband here. How can we work together to fix this? Because we still need to bring in that income. We still want this to be successful. How are we going to resonate in this way? What did I need when I was building this digital product? What did I need, or with this business, that would have brought me to the top of the line, to the front of the line, so that way I didn't want to have to keep breaking through that wall, right? What did I need at that time? What can I put in a 5 or 10 or 15, 20-minute module for you to watch, to digest, to take, and then to execute? And now we've taken it one step further, where we're like, here are all the templates. Here's the email structure. Here's the email list. Here are the prompts. Go. And that's what I feel like we needed to build out, was like, there's so many things out there to teach us how to do the thing. And I was always at a point, and I still am, and that's why we work with the mentors that we do, because I have mentors. I have, my Bradley and Phil Stringer, and like I have these like crazy mentors that teach me how I have to learn how to do these things. And I ask them, like, my whole thing is, okay, what the heck did I need to get to this place? And here's all of the templates to be able to succeed and just apply it, because I don't want to have to learn how to do all of the things. Just do the thing for me. Like, let me learn, tell me exactly what I need to do and let me do it. You know what I mean? Is that okay? Yes. Okay, good. So, while Amanda's talking about Facebook really quick, I want to get the questions from you. I'm going to put some ChatGPT prompts for you guys to have, and I'm going to put my the AI mom, the business. Yeah, I have so all of my, thank you, Tony. So all of the reels on AI Mom and Abundant Academy, Abundant Management, we need to change that handle. All of those are templates. So you can use those reels, and I highly would ask, I would love for you to, but you can all, if any of that kind of resonates with you or you're following, you can use them as a template. So we have those. Let me get my ChatGPT prompts in there, and almost like the pre-business is in a box. I'm going to put that in here. I just need to get it. And can you talk about Facebook really quick, and then let us know what your questions are? Facebook and burnout, Amanda.
Yes. So I haven't had lunch yet, so I'm gonna try to get all of my brain cells on board to speak quickly and clearly. So if I miss anything, make sure you definitely just drop it in the chat, and we'll try to get everything. Can I screen share?
Yeah.
I
Press
actually
the button.
Okay, cool. I actually have been working on some of these things that we're talking about, so I can go ahead and hopefully just share these over for you. Let's see. Eating a baby. Okay. If I can get my the bright green share button, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did that work? Can you guys see what I'm looking at?
I can see your screen.
Sweet. Okay. So we talked about batch creating and some faceless content. I have up right now is just my Canva that I was working on. So I used ChatGPT and kind of refined a piece of content that I'm wanting to share consistently over the next week or so, since we are going to North Carolina, and I want my audience to be engaged in and expecting that content upcoming. So over here, I went through and created a piece of content that I liked, and I liked how it was set up. And then I used this for some other pieces of content that I wanted because I liked how it was set up. So I really just have a video background with text overlay, and then I used ChatGPT to refine this message I was trying to share. And so then I can literally just go through and drag and drop, if I can get it to work. I can just drag and drop different things to change backgrounds. That could be a video, that could be a background, that could be whatever. You want to change this picture, and I batch created a bunch with a bunch of different pieces from what's different things going on, projects going on in North Carolina right now, if that makes sense. So then I used the same thing and I duplicated it, and I have like I'm getting prepped to launch information about a budgeting course that I'm doing. I'm sorry, buddy. He's sorry. So I have this outline basically, and I can drag and drop different elements. And then once I've done that one, I can duplicate the page, drag and drop, change the text a little bit. And then I have like 5 to 8 stories prepped. And then when you go over, this is why I was asking about business pages. Once you save all this to your computer, you can go over to your Meta Business Suite if you have a business page. So when you connect your Instagram and your Facebook, you want to make sure, this is one of the most like devastating things I did when I started building my business page, is that I did not convert over to a actual Facebook page. I had a Facebook profile that I had built, which now has nearly 1 million followers, and does not sit in my Meta Business Suite as a resource for me to connect to and push content to, like my planner over here. So I have a different Facebook page that is an actual page and not a profile that is business, and it has 200 followers. So my information does not get pushed to that page well, and I cannot use these resources well because I built my following on my Facebook profile. Just let me know if that makes sense, because that was very confusing when I was first starting out. Didn't realize that there was a difference or that I needed to, and I wasn't even sure of all the tools or how to use them. I wasn't using them. I was doing everything by hand. So there are tons of, my baby just fell asleep. There are tons of resources on this Meta business that allow you to see all of your insights. So I have both my Instagram and my one Facebook page. So these insights are terrible compared to what we typically have going on. But you have insights you can track if you have both of those pages connected or multiple pages. And then you have a planner over here. So like this week, I have stories planned out, which I literally, these are those Canva designs that I was just showing you that I saved. And I brought them over here, and I'm gonna hit schedule, and I can schedule out stories. And that way I have a running story, so you pick your time, and it will let you know what your most active time of day is for a post. Once you pick your time, you drop a video. Let's say I pick one of these, one of the templates. You drop it, and then you can add a link to it if you're linking back to your own website. So one of the things Chelsea taught me that I thought is I keep this in mind all the time, is that it takes 7 touch points to sell. And I see it all the time. Now I see it in myself. Like when I go to buy something, I have seen an ad over and over and over and over. And I'm finally like, okay, I'll see what this is all about. And then I'll go check out the webpage. So I can see that system is working on me. And I know that it works on other people, whether that's trying to get people back to your website, whether that's trying to make a direct sale or whatever it is. Thank you, Daddy. So that is why it's important to be consistent in your posting. It helps your audience consciously or subconsciously both recognize that they intend to see you or plan to see you multiple times a day or multiple times a week. I don't post every single day, and I think that I'm doing poorly in that. But it's just not a place I thrive right now. So I'm working on it. It'll be fine. But if you are consistent, like posting multiple the same times, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or something like that, that consistency is still just as important, even if you're not doing it every day. But I recommend doing it every day. Just do as I say and not as I do. So you can add a link and you can schedule the post. That's all I was trying to show you here. You can pick which pages you're adding to. Again, my Facebook profile can't be used in this, so that's unfortunate, but that's how it works. Again, you can reschedule your time and then you hit schedule. And that will populate on your Instagram or your Facebook once you've set those up. So TikTok is doing the same thing. They have theirs coming out. What did they call theirs? Do you remember? What? So there's another one that's coming out with an app. Actually, I might already have it. They sent it out to some of the creators to try it. It's called TikTok Studio, of course, same as everybody else's, which allows you to do the same with your content in scheduling out. I don't know if you can see, but it's just the TikTok app, but with Studio. And that allows you to schedule out your content on there as well. And the benefit of that is just what we've been talking about. You don't have to be on your socials every single day, making sure your posts are set at the same time. You can schedule it out so that you take back some of your own life.
Amanda, for Facebook, for your business page, it's just an added page on there, right? Like you can have 1,000 business pages.
Yes.
Under your profile. And then your meta. So you just literally, when you go into your meta, it says add a business page and it'll add a business page to your business. It's in your meta suite. And that's where you're going to run ads. So you see on her screen, she has the ads manager, which will show you where you have your meta pixel and all that. I highly suggest just getting somebody on Fiverr to help you. But you can have your campaigns, you can schedule all of that, which is another way if you don't want to be grinding it out, even at $5 a day. So if you know you're like, okay, I'm going to do I'm going to do weekly coaching with Abundant, and I'm going to do $200 a month on Meta ads. And I'm just going to have a really stellar landing page that it links to, where it links to that checkout page. And I'm just going to let it go on autopilot. Then at least your Meta, that's really where a lot sells. So you want to cultivate an audience that converts for sure. But to sell, the majority of my sales and even Amanda's sales come from Meta. Just FYI, just so you guys know. So Meta ads is a really, really good tool to use. That's something that we can get into at a later time. It's something you're going to want to budget up towards and just know that it's happening in the background. It's too tight. Okay, give me 1 minute. I'll be right with you. But that happens in your business suite. The rhythm, did that answer your question on the business page, Karissa and Amy? Okay. The rhythms that we have, Tony, Amanda can talk to it in just a second. For me, Tony, yes, Meta pushes ads to both Instagram and Facebook. So hopefully you guys are seeing them, the abundant management ads. Hopefully you are on your socials, you're seeing, and what you'll know is it'll say sponsored by. So you'll start seeing it. And if you do, screenshot it and tell me, because I get excited. Because I didn't put a huge budget towards it. So I'm hoping we're trying a couple of new things when it comes to the Meta ads that Alexia's cooked up with, and Amanda, we've tried it on her platform and we've tried it on mine. So we'll see how that works, and I can't wait to tell you guys the results of boosting an existing post that went kind of viral and using that as a Meta ad instead of originally. We'll see how it goes, but because we're working really, really, really hard on getting people to sign up for the free workshop. And so I'm running Meta ads, which feels counterintuitive to run money towards a free workshop, but it's a place that we get everybody in the door to learn who we are and be able to talk to us. Because even though we have big influencers and we have a larger following in comparison to a lot of businesses, we still don't have this size of an audience that we want to be able to convert and sell at the numbers that we want to be at. So even we're always kind of pushing to that next level. Okay. The rhythms, do you actually change? Okay, good. The rhythms that I have for creating content 3 times a day is on Sundays. I always get my camera out and I'm taking pictures of my kids anyways. So if you're opting to include your children in your, baby, this is too small, honey. Somebody's naked again, so just bear with me. If you're opting to have your children in, I like to have her in, I like to just have my camera out and take B-roll, and I'm learning different angles to do my videos. I just put it out, like even if I'm playing with the kids in the yard, I just prop my phone up against a wall and I take video of it. And I take video of me doing random just stuff. I got past being nervous about filming myself in public. I just do it. Like we had a reel that went really viral, at least my standards, for Amanda, where we took video of me at the grocery store getting all of the ingredients, and it was to sell Amanda's cookbook. And we sold, I think, like, I don't know, $500 worth of cookbooks before it was cold release, just because the way that it was shot. So I got over getting insecure in public and just filming myself B-roll, and I just started doing it and putting that text over. So as far as the rhythm goes, I always try to get, I would say, 4 or 5 different shots of B-roll over the weekend. And then so long as they're over a minute or 2 minutes, and then I cut it down to like a cute section, and I keep it under 10 seconds as best I can. And I put a text overlay. So I use ChatGPT every Sunday. And I really want to start doing that on Fridays. I've just been inundated. But every Sunday, I'll sit and I'll say, give me 7 days of content. I need to post 3 times a week, 3 times a day, hyper specific. And I talk back and forth to ChatGPT until I get what I like. And then I say, make this a blog post for each theme. make this an email, because I'm starting to do daily emails as well. Kaya, hold on, please. Because I'm starting to do daily emails as well. And I have the content match and complement. And then I just keep it in my notes. And I will take those videos and put the text on it and then do the trial reels. And I'm doing that at night. Really, I should be batch making it as best I can. Like on Sundays, I should take 2 hours and just batch create content. I just haven't. And so I just make it the night before. And that's kind of been my rhythm on the trial reels. I'd like to get to a place where I'm making it all in 1 week. I'm just not there yet.
Chelsea, when you were talking about the trial reels, that's not completely clear to me.
Okay.
So can you say that part again, please? The one about like how that works. Like how trial reels work and how you said you did 5 to 10, I think.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll make my reels in Instagram, and I cross post to Facebook. But if you look at any of my accounts on Facebook, my Facebook account is crappy. Like I don't have the same level of presence. I just don't, and I should, because Facebook tends to convert more than Instagram does from the statistically. But I just haven't made that a priority, and I should. But for me, I'll make my reels in Instagram just because it's easy for me to upload directly from my caption. I don't mind the fonts. Like I can make fonts in Canva or whatever and make the stickers. I just know how to work it. And then instead of going to share post, there's a new feature that says trial reel that you toggle. I toggle it. I make it a trial reel and I push it out. And you can have the settings set to automatically share after 72 hours, or Amanda's showing you right now, or you can yes, Pamela, or you can just try. And so I just push all of that out in the trial reels. And instead of sharing, it doesn't go to my grid, it goes to new followers. That's the thing that's really cool about trial reels, is it's not shown to your existing follower community, it's shown to new people. So if it's targeted appropriately and you have the right hook, then you can see how it does. Some of them are flops and I get 200 views. Some of them are really good, and overnight, like I get 2,500, and I'm like, oh, okay, for me that's big. For Amanda, that would be a flop. You know what I mean? Like it just is a different level, you know? So I know that that's one that I want to share because I'm excited about it. You know, I'm like, yeah. And then I'll wake up and I'll have like 200 new followers. I'm like, whoa, this is neat. So like, let's do that. So I like the trial reels. That's what I really focus on. And then if I have the flops, it's typically in the hook. I didn't write the hook right. So I go back to ChatGPT and I reprimand her and I say, Judy, you did not do this correctly. How dare you? And then I have her like redo it. I take a screenshot. Another trick I've been doing is if I see something that I like, when it comes to the if I see a text overlay or a caption that I like the way that it's written, screenshot it, upload it to ChatGPT and say, make this for my niche, and my account. And they'll rewrite it.
Yeah, that's an awesome trick. So you make sure that under trial reels that you're not automatically sharing them all out after 72 hours, and you only share the ones that are like doing well.
Manage the setting.
Okay.
And just says manage settings.
Okay, cool.
And real quick, Chelsea, I don't want to interrupt. I got to go get my kiddos from school, but I just wanted to give a quick thank you so much for having me on.
Oh,
Thanks
I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah,
Thank you
absolutely.
so much.
So much great information. So I took some good notes.
Oh, I'm so glad to have you a part of this.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we'll see you on Thursday.
That sounds wonderful. Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye. I'm sorry, what were you? Who's Judy? Oh, Karissa, sorry. Judy is, I named ChatGPT. She is my personal assistant. I have a personal assistant, an executive assistant, a social media manager. I have everybody. And you know who it is? It's ChatGPT. That's, we just name her. Yours is Julie, right? And then somebody else is named Emily.
Yeah, I named mine Julie.
Okay, really quick. Pamela, yeah, yes, we can. We do have brand managers. Amanda has a brand manager. We do have coaches, both of us do, and Alexia does as well. And they offer individual coaching also. And I would love to talk with you on that piece on brand management and all of that, because you definitely are there, and I think that we have some resources that would help you. And Amanda would be a great resource, Alexia as well, and we're working on some things for influencers at your level, also, that we think would help generate a lot of income and create different businesses. So yes, yours is Grace. I love that. Okay. Any questions?
Amy, I'm seeing you asked about switching over your Facebook profile to a business page. What is your Facebook profile? What's your following on your Facebook profile right now?
It's not that much. Like I have like 2,000 followers.
Okay.
That is a lot.
Do you?
Oh, I don't.
It is.
Okay, good.
I'm super proud of you. That's awesome. So do you have an interest in using the business suite resources?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like love that to learn more, you know, how like right now I'm posting every day, but I am just like throwing it at the wall and I have no clue if it's working. Like everything you guys were talking about is so interesting to me.
So the thing with that, I think that works well, but I think just make sure you're being authentic and make sure that you want to be who you want to continue to be. So don't be someone you're not right now, because you have to keep being them and you don't want to be that. So the thing about switching over to a business page is there's not an option to take your profile and like change it. Even if it is like a business profile or whatever, it doesn't actually switch over to a page.
Okay.
And that was
What you just said, right?
Yeah, so it would probably be best. I know it's scary if you already have 2,000 followers on that area, but to say, hey, this is what I'm doing with my page over here. You guys come hang out. Everyone come follow this page. This is what it's specific to if you're interested in this, and just start building out a page. You will not only get to bring your audience that you already have, but you can really engage in that page specifically to be exactly what you want. And then your profile can just be your typical Facebook profile, and your page, with anyone coming to your page knows what they're coming for, and they're there intentionally for you and for what you have to offer. And it's a big switch. I know I didn't do it, and it's kicking my butt at this point. But.
Yeah, I just want to make the most out of it. And it's like, I mean, on my Facebook now, I get like $30 or something a month. Like it's something, and I'm grateful for it. So then it's like, do I just keep doing that? Because my business is me. Like I'm a special needs mom and I'm a coach for special needs moms. So there's nothing separate, right? So it's like, so is it just best to just keep it?
Yeah, so that's exactly what I face also. Is my business is me. I do social media marketing. So when brands are hiring me, they're for me. And so that was the dilemma I was in as well. And mine has worked out fine, what I have and where it is. And we settled on a name and all of that. I just can't use any of those really awesome resources.
Yeah.
And at this point, when I'm juggling as much as I am, being able to automate those things would have been a game changer. Especially even building, that would have been a game changer. I just didn't know it was an option. And honestly, when I did start, there weren't all of the options that there are now for automation.
Okay.
Is that just in Facebook? Because I know Alexia's big thing when it comes to Instagram is to always make sure that you're a digital content creator and not a business page. So I just want to make sure that that's.
Yeah, so I am talking specifically about Facebook profiles. With Instagram, you can make it a business page. And that's a bit more for like if you are a brick and mortar shop.
Yeah, you don't get pushed out in the algorithm. So you don't want.
Yeah. But if you have a business page on Facebook, you can label that a digital creator page, if that makes sense.
And isn't it, you can just add the business page to it, right? Because I have like 3 business pages for Kaya and Cash.
Yes, you can make as many as
Don't do what I did, because I just didn't know what I was doing. But you can add more, right? Even though you can't change your page, you can add another page. You just can't switch those followers. Is that what, I just wanted to make sure that I understood what you guys were talking about. Okay.
Yep, you can add as many pages as you want. You just can't change your actual, and it's a little confusing because on Instagram, you can make that change specifically from a Instagram profile to a business profile, if that makes sense, even though, even also you can connect different pages, your Facebook and your Instagram, and those make it even easier to collaborate or to push things over from one platform to the other, and then you're doing half the work to keep your social covered. We've said it a million times, but I'll say it again. The hyper specific and picking one platform and pushing that one platform are going to be your best friend here. But I do understand filling out different platforms until you kind of figured out. My Facebook was not my largest following at all. It was TikTok, and now I'm just under 1 million on Facebook. So,
so amazing.
And you simply cross post from Instagram to Facebook. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep. And then it just clicked.
That.
That happened to Carla too, where she was like, I don't pay attention to Facebook, but that's where all of like her sales came from. That's where a lot of her like focus on her like her demographic, her loyal following, a lot of them sat in Facebook, and but she didn't pay attention to it. So because it just cross posts from Instagram, and it's easier to create the content in Instagram, right? I think Instagram's an easier app to manage, but I know a lot of people my age and older, my husband's age, because he's a lot older than me. Just kidding. They focus on Facebook, so I don't know.
Yeah, definitely different audiences. When I was first starting out, I pushed the other way around. When I first started out, I posted everything, typed every single caption, everything on one platform, went to the next one, typed it all, went to the next one, like that. And as I've built, I have streamlined to mostly pushing to Instagram, or posting to Instagram and letting it push everywhere else. But Instagram has made changes in their interest of carousels rather than reels. So they're not pushing reels right now, which was my biggest piece of content. Biggest thing I did.
Yeah, Amy, I copy and paste from ChatGPT all the time. Just make it sound like a human. I would say, but again, I'm not a viral. I'm not a huge mega influencer. Is that frowned upon? I don't think the algorithm is that smart to know the difference. You can always copy and paste it into your notes. I would just make sure that it sounds like you. So you're using the voice memo, you're making sure that it's SEO optimized with the right keyword specific, so you can start registering in your in Google Analytics too. So you always want to make sure that you're using keywords that target your keyword audience. I like to say in ChatGPT to use Apple power words as well if I'm trying to sell something. So then it sounds like an Apple ad. You'll see the difference now if you guys start looking at my copy. But I would copy and paste from ChatGPT. I wouldn't type specifically. Karissa, if you're having a hard time, I would lean into ChatGPT, because you're going to get better. And if you look back at your analytics and how it's doing, how it's resonating with people, you can make adjustments, but you're going to have to see how your audience responds. That's what I see the difference between Amanda, Karissa, Alexia. When they talk about posting content, they're always thinking about, okay, how's the audience going to receive this? They're always responding when the audience responds. Now they ignore the mean people because it's going to happen, but how does this resonate, and how are people like interacting with it? And that engagement is going to drive the algorithm to keep pushing your content out as well. So I would always I review, and then I always lean into ChatGPT. I keep posting this Google Drive folder. Have you guys received that?
Yes, thank you so much.
So the algo favors AI written stuff that's revised by a human. Yeah. So make sure that you download that digital folder. I want to make sure everybody has that. This is actually one of our paid digital products that Alexia has. It's called the Digital Launchpad. Alexia and I made it together, and it's all of our best stuff. It's basically the beginning of our business in a box. So we have a bunch of those ChatGPT prompts in there. We have a bunch of ready-made of ways to build your business out. All of my books are in there. I would just look at that. And Karissa, I want you to look at it too. For those of you that want to write books, my books are in there. Guess who assisted me? So it was all through voice memo and talking back and forth in between nap times, night feedings, on walks. I basically just wrote it through my words and had her translate a lot and then help me articulate what I was trying to say and then say it the right way. So I would definitely take a look at all that stuff. We can help you do all of these things, but utilizing these tools should help you. There's the viral playbook, helping you with your brand, helping you build out your business planning, and different digital product ideas if you're kind of lost as well. Ooh, good luck on your pitch to your nonprofit.
Thank you.
Okay, we are backing into going over 20 minutes. I just get so excited talking to you guys. Please, do we have any last minute questions before this has been so good? Good. I am so glad. If I can ask a favor, please. So I'm going to put in here an affiliate link you guys can use. So that way we have an affiliate program with Abundant Academy. If you have found this valuable, if you have found what we're doing valuable and useful for moms, I want to make it useful. I want to extend the joy. So we're giving 30% to everybody of anything that's sold. We have multiple things that we offer on our platform as Abundant Academy. So we have a lot of free resources. Like today, we have the free Abundant Mom Path to Success. We have lots of I give away everything because I want everybody to succeed. We also have our paid coaching program. So it's $47 a month where you get expert coaching. So it's not just Amanda, it's Alexia, it's Samia, it's me. Sometimes Brad Lee will be on here. We have Phil Stringer. I mean, crazy heavyweight people will be on, but we're building your business with you. And we did it for the cheapest we possibly could. I was supposed to be charging I don't know. They wanted me to charge $100. I was like, no, what's the cheapest we can do it? Because I do have to pay to be on the platform. So that's $47, $12 a week. And then we have Abundant Money, which is $297, and it is over 30 hours of courseware. So it's where I take you from beginning to end on how I built my Shopify store for $35. I go through Shopify, Etsy, building a brand, social impact. We have the Ultimate Mom Influence, which is how to build your social media from zero to over 1 million followers. And we break it down in just literally a hyper specific way. We have the viral playbook, which is Alexia's. She teaches you how to go viral. She went from 0 followers to 400,000. It's normally $1,500. We have, what else do we have in there? We have the generational wealth, which typically sells for $299 alone. I convinced Samia, who gets, she's going to kill me, but she's not on here. She gets paid $600 an hour to plan people's financial planning because her family used to manage 300 million, or still does, 300 million in assets. And she was a money manager for forever. Now she teaches moms how to do it. So I'm like, no, just put your course in here. It's fine. We're going to help moms. It's good. And she's like, okay. So it's like, when we give you money, here's what to do with it to get out of debt. Here's what to do with it when she teaches you how to invest in stocks, how to actually build your real estate portfolio. She takes you through everything, starting with $50, your giving system. Amanda has her whole family system that she still is recording, but how she does her family budget for a large family. and how her breaks down her entire system and teaches her kids how to donate, how to give back, how to allocate for taxes, planning, all of that, financial planning, family systems. We also have Shannon Cairns, who sold 2 million in digital products. She goes through and does an entire 6-module course on how to, from beginning to end, build your digital product. So we have all of that for $297. Then we have our free workshop, which is the quarterly workshop that we have 449 people registered, which I don't know if I'm just not explaining it the right way, but we really want to get 1,000 people in these seats because it's free. I have typically Phil Stringer gets paid $45,000 to talk, and he's doing it for free. And Brad Lee, is Brad Lee. If you guys don't know, he's the one that we have our system on. Our Abundant Academy is on his platform, and his entire platform has built Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins uses it. Zig Ziglar uses it. Grant Cardone uses it. Like, all these huge money mindset coaches use these platforms to train other entrepreneurs. And I had him invest in us in Abundant Academy. And I was like, hey, no, we're going to do what you do, but like for moms, and then like not really charge him anything. He's like, okay. I was like, oh, and I need you to talk every quarter. That's cool, right? And he's like, okay.
This is Kelsey's absolute superpower. It's nothing. I mean, that's how she hooked me. Like, it's like she has refined whatever superpower it is of like finding people who are doing big things and bringing them in and like, okay, but
I don't pay Amanda $30,000 for each reel she posts, and we're all over her grid. Just so you know, she is our founding partner, by the way, though. She is a partner in this business. But so I clearly we're not getting the message out the right way. So I need help to get butts in the seats at the workshop. Let me get the affiliate link. And then I want you to tell your friends, if you found value in this, this is like our entire platform, and we're giving all of the resources we possibly can to you. I want you to get all of the tools. I want you to get all the resources, but I also want to know that it's working and that you guys like it. And I want you to share with your friends. So we're giving you 30%. Anything that sells, it tracks the whole time. So you just log in, you become an affiliate, and you can share with your friends and make money on it. I'm hoping that will help spread the word too. So if you've enjoyed this, I would love for you to share with your friends. I'm so glad you love that. That's great. And then I don't know how I get everybody to do it for free. I think that's God's favor for sure. That's like, it's divine intervention. It's just like, I don't know. I keep doing what he tells me to do, and that's the only thing we can do, right? So let me get the affiliate link while I'm talking. This is recording. If this has been helpful to you, can you let me know? Like, right, I have the recording. I would love to be able to use a video of you saying that, or to give me a review yourself, just so we can start really letting people know and get them the social proof. Would be really helpful.
I do have 2 things to say. One, for the free or for the quarterly workshop, is it just in the Abundant? Like, if I just log on, I can find it to register?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then 2, yes, this has been so incredibly helpful. Like, I feel like it almost feels like it's not real that we're in this space with you guys. And I am just I'm really grateful. And I'm so happy to be here. And I mean it, because this was just an hour and a half. And I feel like, I don't know, I want you guys to keep talking, obviously, but it's amazing.
I'm so glad. Thank you.
So much. Like, yeah, I'm blown away. I'm blown away.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you so much. That's the best, because that's the whole point of what we started, is like, I don't want moms to have to deal with what we dealt with. Like, I have, I don't know, probably invested over 100,000 in starting businesses and this platform and everything. And just like, I don't want other moms to have to do that. Not every mom has that ability, right? Like I'm fortunate enough that my husband's like, here, let's invest in this. I see the future. Let's go. We can do this. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that, to have had the business experience that I do, to have the business friends that I do, to be able to lean into that. I know that there's a bigger purpose for it, but I know, like, I grew up with a single mom. Like my mom was like, there were nights that she didn't eat so I could. Like we grew up much different. And I don't think that any mom should have to experience financial hardship, especially if she has a gift and wants to do something with it. I just want to have a community and a platform to be able to give every mom the opportunity to be able to do that. So I'm just
so beautiful.
I'm so glad. Okay, good.
Yeah.
And then let me get the affiliate link.
I also want you guys to know that we get off these calls and Chelsea immediately texts me and she's like, did we give them value? How can we give them more? They need more. We got to give them more.
So much. So much. And like the way, like Chelsea, what you're talking about with moms, just real quickly, it's like I'm a special needs mom and I want to be able to give this gift of like support, because a lot of us don't, none of us have that one-on-one support, but a lot of special needs like families don't have the funds. So this is where I feel like, I'm like, I have, like, I know I have to charge something, but I want to make it affordable because they need it.
Yes.
They need it.
Exactly.
And just like what you're doing for us. So it's really, it's hard to put it into words.
Oh, I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful to all of you guys. And I never would have thought that we would be able to create such a cool community. And I can't wait to see like a year from now, looking back and being like, can you believe that we all just made that crazy change? Like that crazy impact on so many people. Like it's going to be so neat.
You're going to do it.
Yes.
We're all doing it.
Okay, so there's the affiliate link. Please get out and share. Please, if you aren't already registered, has everybody registered in the Abundant Academy community? Everybody's there. You should have your workshop registration available. All of the other things are available, like the sellables. You can upgrade, whatever. We are still doing our coaching through the workshop on Thursdays for access for free. If you get the coaching, if you buy your coaching or Abundant Money, if you buy Abundant Money now, we're doing like 30 days of coaching for free. If you buy your coaching, you get a 90-minute, either whatever you get a 90-minute with me where I break down your entire business plan. And I plan out your whole business for you up until the workshop. And then after that, I think that I'll probably be capped. But you will get a 90-minute planning session where I come. Tony's in that program. She does her 90 minutes and so
helpful. Oh my God. Yes. I was like unclear and then clear. And then like, oh wow, I've got to get to work. Know what I'm doing now.
Yay, I'm so excited. Yes, if you guys are a homeschool mom or you want activities to be present with your babies and like to start reading with them and doing all of that, Tony has some amazing products that she's coming out with. It's going to be like, forget it. I'm so excited. And also, just so you guys know, we do have, like, you can leverage the platform. If you have a course that you have recorded and you need a place to host it, if you want to host it, talk to me. I love having new experts and coaches and mentors on the platform. We are open for it. We are open for business. So I am here all the way. You guys all have my email address, right? It is crizzo@abundant-management. Go out there, be prosperous, be fruitful. Amanda, would you like to close us in prayer?
Yes. You guys ready? Father God, I thank you so much for these beautiful ladies. Lord, I thank you for this time together. I thank you for just your attention to detail and your love and adoration for each and every one of us. And God, I just pray blessings over the work that we have before us. I pray that you give us peace, you give us time of rest, and you give us energy and focus when it's time to work. I pray protection and blessings over our families and our households. We love you, God, and we pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right, ladies, I love you so much. I am so proud of you, and I will see you on Thursday.
quick question. I'm so sorry before you hop off. What if I want to book that 90-minute call with you? Is that where you want me to email you, or how do you want me to do that?
Yes. So I will here. Let me email you.
I'm sorry. I know you're trying really hard to get off.
No, that's okay. My daughter's just naked. She hasn't peed anywhere that I know of, so we're okay right now. Wait, I'm sorry, Pamela, your different courses. Yes. Okay. So okay, I can explain that really quick. Abundant Money just has all of those different courses in there. And then it's $297. And with that, if you get that now, we have a business in a box with all of the templates and everything. So that'll be a part of it. And then you get your 90-minute session with me. It comes with 30 days of coaching too. So I would say that's the best value. Okay, go get your voice. And then that is the sellable in the, so when you register in Abundant Academy, if you are registered, hold on. We have a naked baby again. Oh my God. If you register in Abundant Academy in your profile, you'll see the sellables that go up. But I can also put this here. Amanda, do you have the Abundant Money link available easily? I need to get my links available. Real Mom Life. I don't. Okay. Hi. She's covered. We're fine. It's all good. And Pamela, email me as well, because I think everybody has a larger following than you guys are giving you credit for. Pamela, I know that you are like I think you're almost you're in the hundreds, right? But everybody, even smaller accounts, Amanda, we should really figure out the best way to get brand managers as well, because we've worked on it and we are still working on it with our existing influencers. But Amanda negotiates a lot of her own contracts because her husband actually is so like good at it. So are you. But I think that we can definitely, we're trying to figure out a way to syndicate everybody's following. And a lot of brands are wanting to work with smaller influencers. Oh, and I meant to tell you guys this, and we'll go into it more on Thursday. But if you go into branded content in your Instagram, it gives you the opportunity to get brand deals, that you can go after brand deal collabs in branded content. So if you look in your settings, which is something new, I didn't know this existed. But if you look in it's creator, yes. So if you go into settings and activity, Pamela, are you still with us? This is applicable to you too, Chris, everybody. If you go into your settings and you go into
it's under creator tools under the for professionals section. So like, I don't know, like one scroll down, half scroll.
And then branded content. You can create a whole profile.
And brands can reach out to you if they're interested and they love working with influencers because of your very specific audience.
And then additionally, if you go onto Shopify, go to Shopify collabs and you can get other brand deals. So I didn't know if anybody found that helpful. I didn't know about that. Oh, okay. I'm glad you know about that, Pamela. Okay. So anyways, is everybody good? Okay.
I feel like that was super, super helpful. Thank you for sharing that, because I've heard that they're preferring like smaller accounts, but I also haven't been posting consistently because I can't get really clear on my vision, which I just want to say thank you. This is so valuable. I just am getting so much clarity around what to do, and I haven't had that in so long. I'm so thankful for it.
I am so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so excited. And always email me and reach out, send us DMs. I didn't know this before, but like even mega influencers look at their DMs. So just send you can DM Amanda. But just I want you guys to talk to us and let me know if you have questions. I'm available to you. Okay, I will. Okay, we got more people. I know, please message me. Okay, I will. I gotta get her clothed. I am so grateful to everybody. I will talk to you later.